Hey everybody, just making a quick market update video. Large gaps are hard to read. That's why I'm still being patient here. As you can see, really quickly in the NASDAQ, here was that midpoint, the overnight halfback, 50% retracement of this large move, 116.78. Notice right here is where the NASDAQ has come up to. Okay, and we opened down here. So it's pretty much been buying since the open. Okay, but we're still below this level. We're still below 50% of this move. Okay, let's look at the ES. 39.51 lines up perfectly with this resistance. Was support but came resistance now. Well, it hasn't come resistance yet, but could be, right? So that's right here. ES is a lot weaker than the NASDAQ. Okay, now also in the NASDAQ, you can see we pretty much pushed off the 9 EMA daily. We didn't get down into this bull bear zone here at all. Okay, we're still in a gap. All right, so the ES is weaker now. How can we see that on a more granular level? Let's look at the internals. Okay, and you can see this very clearly with one indicator here. This is the weighted AD. Okay, the weighted sectors that's proportionally weighted to the S&P, which is going to include the heavyweights that move the markets more, which is infotech, healthcare, and financials and discretionary. You can see they are at 84. See this? 80s. The unweighted, which would make everything equal weight, is at 7. So that's a big discrepancy between the two. That's why the NASDAQ is stronger. Okay, you can see the white line. The white line's the unweighted, is now below 0. It's at -10, -5, right? And we got the weighteds here, which is positive 73. Hence the divergence, right? Let's look at the sector boxes, which is also tells you just as far as the numbers. So look at the top 3 sectors. Oh, well, that just changed. But let's look at the top 4 sectors. Okay, right here. By weight, infotech is 26.3, healthcare 15%, financials 11.4, and discretionary 10.9. Okay. Now, if you notice, the top 3 sectors are green off the open. Infotech, the largest weighted, is 1.09% off the open. Off the open. That's your Apple, your Microsoft, your Nvidia, your AMD. Okay. Healthcare. This is 0.46 off the open. United Healthcare. Okay. That's a large part of the Dow. Largest holding in the Dow is that. Okay. Now, financials is kind of flat. It's up 0.01. It's 0, but it's 11%. Okay. Those are the weighted, right? The only large weighted sector that's down is discretionary, which is Amazon and Tesla and Home Depot. Okay. Then you got industrials. It's like flat. It's only down 0.11. Communications, look at that, up 0.65. What's driving that, right? Got Google, Meta. Okay. So that's the push and pull you're seeing, especially in the S&P, right? Because Nasdaq's really only going to have discretionaries and communications and infotech, right? But the S&P, this is the S&P, so the S&P is going to have more push and pull. Hence why the S&P is lagging, right? Let's take a quick look at the the NASDAQ 100 ADD. We're at negative 60. That means 60 stocks are down. I'm sorry, that's not what that means. It's advancers minus decliners. So that means 40 stocks are advancing to 60 decliners. Now the market just got a big bump here as I'm speaking. The market just got a big bump as I'm speaking. I don't know if news came out. Let's look right here. You can see I don't know why this is popping, but it is. Okay, so as we're speaking, right, let's look at the 15-minute charts. Okay. Now, NASDAQ has crossed the 15-minute EMA, the 9 EMA, okay? So has the ES. We're over the 5-minute as well, over the 5-minute. Heading towards the high volume node. Okay. Now, we're now right at, we just passed the midpoint. Now we're going close to fill the gap. Filling the gap will go right here. This is pretty cool that I'm doing this live. So what I'm looking at here. Now let's look at the internals, which changed, right? Look at that now. Look at the sector boxes now. Green, 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 green. You just saw it before. Financials was flat before. Discretionary, okay, was negative 30. It's at plus now. Look at this weighted. Look at this weighted. This is crazy. I'm trying to get the number for you. It's right up here. 247, the weighted. And the unweighted is 194. I just talked about it before and it was at 0. Wow. I'm gonna try to figure out what the hell happened here. This is pretty interesting. Very interesting. Let's look at the watch list really quickly. 10-year yield is starting to come down again. The VIX is starting to come down. Look at that. The Dow's only down 0.13. NQ's only down 0.33. ES down 0.68. Okay. BABA, AMD leading. Now I sort these by off the open. So this tells me strongest stocks and weakest stocks off the open. Okay. BABA's up 11% off the open. AMD up 5%. I was just gonna put a trade on AMD too, but I didn't like it in the middle of the day, so that's okay. Now look at all these stocks now off the opens. Okay, I have them sorted: Qualcomm, United Healthcare, Walmart. Now we're starting to get a little more strength now. All right, look at sectors here off the open. This is the important part, this category right here. Semiconductors off 2.8%. Technology up 1.6%. All right, communications up 1.1%. Now, the only thing I could think about this is, let's go back to market profile. What I could say about this is possibly, okay, this could be the pullback because we were balancing that people could be interested in. This could be. I'm going to go to the daily chart real quick, okay, and put this into perspective. Let's go to that daily chart, okay. Look right here. We came down to this key resistance level that now became support. We also hit the 9 EMA daily and the 100-day moving average plus the 390. That's why I wasn't short in this market, because of that level. Okay, so in the ES, support was in daily 9 EMA and the 100 simple moving average, as well as this resistance level 390, 388, that became support now. Possible, I'm saying. This could be the launching pad for the next move higher. Okay, let's look at the Qs. The Qs, you notice, also bounced off the 9 EMA daily. See right here? Right, it hit it, and now we're bouncing. Now we're coming up to a key level here, okay? You notice this was resistance, resistance, resistance. We broke it, came back, broke it. Now we're up, going through it. Now, let's look at what I talked about earlier. 277 in the Qs, right? I said that we could possibly fall there if we get further weakness. But let's look at the SPY. There's that 390 level I spoke about pre-market. I said this 390 level is going to be very important. We had resistance, 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 right? Came support here, bunched off. Now we hit it again. We're bouncing off it again. Now Microsoft has launched. Okay, Google, they're making moves. All right, let's look at the Dow. Dow hit the 9 EMA daily as well. Okay. Now, as we're speaking, triple-headed monster. Let's see what that 10-year yield just has happened. Okay, look at that. Now it's a doji. It came up, and now it's getting slammed back down. The market's reversing now. Okay, let's look at that VIX. That VIX started to come up. Look at that tail. Now it's slammed back down underneath 24. Okay. Let's go back to the market profile. Now, a lot has changed as I started speaking. All right. What has changed? The NASDAQ has filled the gap. The NASDAQ has filled the gap. Now, we're in a key high volume node here in the ES. Okay. This is that level. This is the midpoint. We need to get past this. Okay. Now, in the NASDAQ, the next level up is this area here. It's the most traded price of the week. If we can get up above this, we should move higher. Okay. Same with the ES. ES has this to battle with, has to come across this, then it's going to come across the most traded price of the week and yesterday's most traded price, right? If it can bounce up here, we're going higher. So this is quite a turn, guys. Like I said, this, we have to clear this level in the ES. You have to. And hold it. to get any chance higher. We filled the gap in the NASDAQ. It's kind of like a wait and see now. This video is longer than I would wanted it to be. Now the market's really, it's really punishing shorts now from the gap. It's really cooking now. Okay. There's not a sector that isn't red anymore. And I'll leave you with this watch list. Check this out. The Dow is flat from yesterday. The Nasdaq is only down 1.19, and the ES is down 0.54. So ES, notice, weakest, right? Nasdaq's only down 0.2. This is crazy. All right. So remember those levels I talked to you guys about. Okay. Remember those levels. They're very important to get follow through. This is quite a jump, but no surprise because we hit a support level, the 9 EMA daily, and the 100-day moving average. Okay. So if there's something else that changes, I will update it again.